Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Joe Bock from Bock's Garage, and I thought I'd give this streaming thing a shot. I'm traveling for work and wanted to put a video together, kind of going through 2025, what it looks like for the channel, for the Bronco, what I'm going to be doing with it. And instead of kind of like sitting around and like filming in a hotel room and editing it, I thought I'd go live and see how this is all about. So, first time doing this, so let me know your thoughts. So first things first, I was actually supposed to go wheeling this past weekend. And what's going on, Nachos? Live garage. Yes, it is, in a hotel room. So supposed to go wheeling this past weekend. Bronco was all gelled up. Couldn't get it to start. And from there, I kind of went about a path to getting it to start in the cold. Went out and got some diesel 911 for the gelled fuel. I got a cord, finally got it plugged in, got that in, the fuel anti-gel stuff, and we were able to get the Bronco started, ready to go wheeling, or so I thought. From there, truck was running for about a minute when it started pissing power steering fluid. So it turns out my power steering box is leaking through the input. So that's something I'm definitely gonna have to go after and fix before we get into this year. I've also got a few other minor things I want to address. I've got a taillight that blew out around my house running into stuff. That wasn't great. And a bigger issue I want to address is my high steer contacts my frame while it's flexing. So that's not really too great. So I think I'm going to go with the Desolate Motorsports bracket. You go and cut away the bottom of your engine cross member, and then this bracket reinforces it. It gives you probably like 4 or 5 inches more clearance, and should hopefully keep that steering from hitting. Not really sure how this whole live streaming goes, if I should just keep going or kind of address Nick as my sole viewer, Mr. Nachos, but we'll keep going and see how this is at the end. Going back to my power steering box that was having leaks, it would probably be a really good time to address my weak power steering pump and looking to putting in a Saginaw pump. I know that's a really popular upgrade. Oh, a second viewer. Whoa. Hello, Tim. When are we getting the electric Bronco? When Elon reaches out with a sponsorship. Until then, we have a cheap donor Powerstroke Bronco, and that's it. So, let me know if anyone has any good contacts for Elon. Tim is you've seen him a few times in the videos. He's been in the Bronco Roundup videos for a couple of years now. And he's always good to have out there. He's one of my buddies from college, so that's been great. What do you guys want to hear about? I've got the Bronco issues I kind of covered. Upgrades I'm looking to do in 2025. New off-road parks I'm looking to hit. Or things about the YouTube channel. Any specific demand there? If not, I'm just going to keep going down the list. The superstar Tim indeed. He actually is the one who introduced me to Broncos. No, I'm just kidding. But Tim's been riding around in mine for a long while, so that's been pretty cool. I drove that all through high school and then all through college too, so Tim's had many a Bronco trip in there. But yeah, I'll go into the upgrades, things I'm looking to do in 2025. I don't know if any of you guys heard, but Ballistic Fabrication is a big parts provider for the off-road community. They are shutting their door after 19 years. Was it because of Bronco I met Tim? Honestly, I think it was because of beer. I think I met Tim watching the Super Bowl my freshman year of college, and I offered him a cold Corona. The Bronco came later on, so I think that's when I met Tim, actually. Tim, let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, Ballistic Fabrication, they're going out of business after 19 years. They had a pretty sweet closing sale. So I bought a shave kit for the rear 1025, the Sterling. And they also came with a truss for that. They didn't have a standard just shave kit in stock. and I didn't know when my next opportunity would be to get one. So that was purchased and is on the way. So that's definitely something fun I'm looking to do in 2025. I've really liked the Dana 60 up front, and I was under there the other day when I was pulling the steering box that was leaking, and you can see the bottom of that's been getting beaten up pretty well. So definitely a worthy upgrade, I think, even though it is a lot of work. Oh, I got the first live like. Thank you for that, whoever that was. Next big upgrade I'm looking to do, I have most of the parts on order, is airbags. I don't know if you guys have seen the last few Bronco videos I've had, but there was one where I was out with a Jeep. It was a big blue Jeep on 54-inch tires, Axle Tech axles, Cummins under the hood, and the thing was actually able to move around, which was really cool. And with a rig that big, being able to kind of adjust it side to side or up and back was cool to see. So I think I want to be able to do that with the Bronco so I could fit that big truck through the trails a little bit better. So I got airbags. I think it's the same kind of kit that people use with like lowriders. So I got that off Amazon. I ordered the wrong size airbags. So I want to get something that's a little closer to the right size. But yeah, that should all be coming in soon. So hopefully in the next month or two, I could get kind of cracking on that. Other big upgrade was armor for the Bronco. The truck's been getting lower and lower. I've been lowering it down because it was a little too top heavy. And the more I lower it, the more I beat up under the doors. And I'm bending my steps up. I'm bending my sheet metal. So the truck needs sliders. It's really needed sliders since I've built it. So yeah, it's time for sliders. I think I'm going to get like 1x4 rectangular tubing, kind of tuck them up there under the rockers, run a couple kickers to the frame, a couple tines to the body so they don't drift anywhere, and do that. So I think that'd be pretty cool. And then my last upgrade coming up is a dune flag. A lot of these off-road parks I'm looking to hit this year require you to have a flag that's like 10 feet high. So I wanted to make a quick release flag mount because I don't really want to trail it around with a big flag on it because I will break it off going under underpasses or overpasses. So that's on my to-do list of upgrades. So speaking of flags, we can now talk where I want to go in 2025. This last year, I've spent a lot of time at local properties, a couple with the Hudson Valley four-wheelers, and then my other two big ones have been AOAA and Roush Creek. I think out of all of them, Roush Creek is my favorite, but AOAA is up there too. But there's a few that I'm looking forward to maybe getting to, and the first would be Paragon if that opens up. There's been some talk of that reopening, kind of like AOAA, being owned by a government entity. So I think if that opens, that'd be first on my list to hit. Other than that, places that I actually have penciled in that are currently open are as follows. The first of which is Silver Lake Sand Dunes in Michigan. So I'm currently living in PA, the eastern side of PA, and this is on the western side of Michigan, so about 14 hours. That being said, that's kind of the reason I got a newer Super Duty and a newer trailer. I'll go through PM all of that and make the trip out to Michigan. I'd like to stay there for 2, 3, 4 days. So if anyone has any experience in the area, it'll be about mid-April, and I would love for someone to show me around if you want to go out wheeling. Since I'm making the trip out there, I also decided I want to go to Badlands Off-Road Park in Indiana. It's roughly, 4 hours, 5 hours from Silver Lake, and it just seems like a real mix of everything. It doesn't seem like sand as much, more like almost like a loose gravel, something like that for like the high-speed areas. But there seems like a lot of like wet and swampy areas, as well as some like really cool ledges and rock crawling stuff. So I think if I'm going to be in like the middle of the United States, it's the one I have to hit. Is there anything else out there that you guys would recommend? If so, let me know. But both of those I'm definitely hitting in April, so if anyone's interested mid-April, let me know. The last one I'm going to is actually for an event, and it's included in the Great American Crawl. I've been watching their YouTube videos on YouTube for a bit now, and it seems like they put on a really good event. I think they're partnered with Mickey Thompson Tires, and they kind of travel around the United States hitting different off-road parks. The one I signed up for, I think I mentioned in November, and it's Windrock Off-Road Park in Tennessee. I know a handful of people who have gone to Windrock, and it seems like it's an awesome park. Maybe a little tight for a full-size rig, but I'm hoping if I get the airbags on and some sliders, we can keep the truck in one piece. So if anyone has any kind of experience there, let me know what to expect or good obstacles to look forward to. That's the same with like Silver Lake and Badlands. Most of what I'm learning about those parks is from YouTube videos and reading the forums if anyone's got, good forums on them. So if there's a spot in that park you need to hit, let me know. And then last thing I got before kind of opening this up to this more talking is channel updates. Wanted to reach out to you guys that see this and kind of see what kind of content you enjoy, short of the electric Bronco conversion. I'd like to know if you guys are more into the build stuff, the actual off-roading, a little in between, like watching the trips fold out, or getting prepared for the trip, building up anything that's broken, the actual voyage out, and then the off-roading and camping part? Or is there a different part that you kind of rather me focus on? Love for you guys to let me know. So yeah, looking forward to hearing about that. Also, I was actually about to ask about that, Nachos. I was going to see if you guys wanted to see more garage updates. So the house came with a 2-car garage, and I've yet to really tour it for the YouTube channel. When I got it, it was just kind of dim. And for when I did the driveway video, it was just packed full of junk from the move. There was a mattress in there, a fish tank, a bunch of stuff from inside the house. And now that stuff's kind of cleared out, and we're starting to set it up like an actual shop. Every time I go to a Harbor Freight, I pick up a set of lights. I get the 5500 lumens fluorescent lights, and they've been great in there. So far, I've got like 4 sets. I think we'll get another 3 or 4, and the place should be pretty lit up. Did it come with any toolboxes? No toolboxes yet, but man, do I have a story about those. Some would say it almost has too many toolboxes now. So that will have to be a deep dive in a different episode. I'm sorry to keep you waiting on that, but it'll be worth it. Speaking of toolboxes, though, I'd also like to maybe get in some tool reviews and toolbox reviews. Maybe have a whole bunch of toolbox content. My roommate, or friend, garage sharer, has a Craftsman unit from Lowe's, one of the new ones that they just had on sale during Christmas. And I have a Generation 3 US General 42-inch box and top box coming. And I think it'd be pretty cool to do like a side-by-side in between those 2 boxes. Just see the features, how they compare, anything like that. But also as time goes on now, I'm looking to fill those boxes and get a kind of a, usable shop of my own. So I've been keeping my eyes out for a lot of tool deals. And I will say, if you're taking your time and hunting around, there's a ton of awesome deals to find. The 3, I guess, biggest would be Harbor Freight. I've been getting a lot of stuff from. Those Craftsman boxes are huge, and they must take up a lot of room. Yeah, they do. Sometimes they just come out of nowhere and surprise you with how much room they are, that they're even there. It's a bit wild. But, yeah, a lot of stuff from Harbor Freight. Surprisingly, a lot of tools from Lowe's. I just got like a 211-piece socket set from them for $99. I think free delivery to the house, too. The thing must have weighed 35 pounds. Didn't come with rails, though. Had to put my own rails together for the sockets, but it should be good. Maybe you'll see that in a further episode, kind of something coming up. And the last place I was getting deals from was Home Depot. They got some Milwaukee stuff there, and also the Craftsman stuff's good too, and you can get it for a bit of a discount. So, it's just been nice kind of filling up, or getting my tools together for when my box arrives to fill it up. So it's been pretty good. And also, I guess last thing for the channel updates is, do you guys enjoy this live discussion like this? I've never done anything like this. It's a bit of fun to get to interact rather than just me kind of talk at the camera. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And that's pretty much my notes on things I wanted to talk. I think it should be weekly. Would there be a day of the week that you'd like to see? Tuesdays or Thursdays, because the word talk and Thursdays both start with T, or Tuesday. Tool Talk Tuesday. Truck Talk Tuesday, Truck Talk Thursday. Saturday Night Brews with Bock. All right. I might be able to do Saturday night. It'd be kind of cool to get a streaming setup in my garage. Get a big TV up on the wall, get a camera out there, and I could even go through and maybe like fabricate some stuff with you guys like live. That might be interesting. So it'll be a little different than doing it in Grove City, PA, on the basically Ohio border that I am at now. I think the garage setup would be a lot more interesting. And then you could see all the tools I'm talking about, or the trucks, or the massive toolboxes. Yeah. And we're up to 5 viewers. I didn't expect to get that high. Very exciting time. Yeah, I think you're right. I'll have to look into it. I have that Insta360. Pro tip from experience. Okay, I will do the timer next time. Good tip, good tip. Yeah, I have an Insta360, I think, that has the ability to go live, and I think it's 4K, at least 1080p. So you get that in a nice microphone, plug it in. Hey, man, I've seen your comments for many years. I appreciate you always supporting. So cool to finally get to talk to you a little bit. Yeah. Anything else you guys want me to talk about before I kind of get off here, or any other comments? But yeah, I think if I could do a weekly thing, maybe leave a poll out for some topics if you guys want to talk about them, and we could do that. And then tomorrow I have about a 6-hour drive home, so maybe I could start doing this in the car. I'd have plenty of time to talk to all you guys. Thoughts on the new Broncos? I wheeled with them since they've come out, like even a couple of weeks or months after they've come out. How's that coming on the drone footage? I'll get to that next. Let me go through Nick first. I think the new Broncos are very capable. I think they give Jeep a good run for their money. It depends on what you're doing, though. I think for dollar, you'll be able to get a Jeep to outperform a new Bronco on the rocks. If you're looking for maybe like a little more faster traveling, I would potentially go with a new Bronco. The new Bronco Raptors are sweet. You can get a new Jeep option pretty well with the 392, so I'm not sure. I would wait until they drop down in price a little bit more. You get it like on the used market. So, well, I would definitely get one though for like an around town kind of deal. I've seen them on the trails. The one guy I know has them on portals and 40s, and that thing does go everywhere. He keeps up with me, so I can't knock it. As for drone footage, I'd like to get, I use a DJI drone for work a lot, a Mavic 2, and the thing is awesome. Very clear. The only thing I'd probably want to work with is getting a microphone mounted inside the truck so you have some kind of audio to go with it. The drone doesn't record any audio because all you would hear is the copters or the rotors, I guess. So it's silent, and it's kind of weird to see a truck ripping around without any like exhaust tone to it. So once I get that mounted up and get a drone of my own, I plan to use it a lot. I was mentioning earlier I want to go to Silver Lake Sand Dunes, and that's definitely a spot I want to bring a drone to. Thank you. Wow, up to 9 viewers in here. The place is bumping. Voice memo on phone for work. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I bet even if I left a video running too on my dash, like you mounted like a GoPro's like a dash cam, you could probably pull the audio off that as well. So one way or another, I'll have to give it a shot. So yeah, thanks for the questions. That was a good one with the new Bronco. I think those and the new pickup trucks would all be like really cool wheelers in the next 5 to 10 years when they kind of come down in price. The Super Duties are like a sweet platform with the 1-ton axles under them already. And the Broncos, I think, really make Jeep kind of push their design. So I think it's exactly what the market needed. Anything else before I get signing off, guys? Saturdays might be a little rough, though, with doing this, but Tuesdays, Thursdays, I think would be a really good day. I'll put a poll up. And the reason I say that is because Saturdays are normally the days I do stuff, really work on stuff, so it might be kind of hard to incorporate that. So about that, I have a Honda that I might have access to at some point, like a CRV, a 2001 Honda CRV. And you kind of don't think they're that cool until you look at it. And it's on little tiny tires and it's a little tiny car, but I think they're all-wheel drive. And it's like a big like go-kart or like golf cart. And I think it would be really funny to throw it on like 33s, like a 2-inch lift, and bring it to Roush Creek and run it side by side with the Bronco. I really think I get my hands on it for probably like $400 or $500. Maybe throw like $200 into like, you know, some kind of beat up tires and a lift, and go run it side by side with like a really built up truck. I bet it would keep up on the real small stuff, you know. Maybe throw a skid plate under it and just bounce it along the trails. That could be something to do in the next year or two. Not even next year or two, probably later this summer. Because I have sort of access to it soon. Yeah, it's a little red CRV. Have that, my dad's Bronco on 35s, and my big Bronco. And we could compare to the three and how they do. Probably be a lot more nimble than my Bronco, I'll tell you what. Because that thing doesn't really fit anywhere. Not easily. That was a good suggestion. I think that would make for fun. The Blazer's good. The Blazer's real good. Tim, you could have the CRV on a Volkswagen Bug Crawler. That group I mentioned, that Crawl Across Great American Crawl, they actually have a lifted Bug off-road rig, and it's insane. Huge tires, huge engine, huge power, really cool. But the Blazer's good. My dad's had a couple medical issues recently, so he hasn't been able to really bring it out too much. But we're getting to the point where he should hopefully be recovered enough to bring it out wheeling. And we've ripped it around the yard. The thing is awesome. It's on the 43s that were originally on the Bronco. I think they're stickies, bead locks, selectable locker in the front, automatic locker in the rear, hydro assist, hydro boost brakes. The thing's built up really well. The only question we kind of have is this thing going to have any sort of power? It's got a 6.2 non-turbo under the hood. And it just sounds like an angry sewing machine. And hopefully in 4 low it'll be okay. It's got 456 gears though. So that might be the saving grace. I'm not really sure, to be completely honest. We'll see. Thanks for asking though. I saw Luke drop in too. Luke, are you home or are you back in Colorado? Oh, we might have lost Luke. Oh, you're in Moab country. Why don't you trailer the Bronco out there and we'll do a Moab episode? That would be a fun place to go bring the drone and the Bronco. That will be on the hit list maybe for 2026, unless we could realistically get it out there easily this year. 2 likes. Man, look at this go. This is catching fire here. Any other questions, guys? With Nick and Mini Trucker. Yeah, we'll bring the CRV out there too. CRV, Bronco, all going to Moab. Honestly, they may both fit on the same trailer. That CRV is tiny. I could probably load it up like horizontally. CRV here, Bronco pulled on normally. Just get some big ramps for it. That'd be pretty cool. All right. We had almost 15 people in here a minute ago. Pretty crazy. But yeah, I think if I go shave the rear end, put some sliders on the Bronco and airbags, the truck really should be a different animal this year out on the trails. Not that it's really upset me recently. I read a bunch of reds recently up at Roush Creek. That was great. I thought I was going to break the truck a few times that day, and it just kind of kept on ticking until I got home, and then it pissed all of the power steering fluid out of the steering box. So at least it waited until I got back. That was a really nice save. So can't complain about that. Could have been a lot worse. Do you guys like when I show you like the DIY, kind of do-it-yourself build material? Or would you rather the projects be kind of wrapped up quick and just see them in action? Thank you. Another bottle of water. Complimentary too, checking in. Used to be a Hampton Gold member for you guys who didn't know. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll definitely, I think you're right, Nick. But yeah, I'll definitely keep that content coming then. Very cool. This live is going better than I thought. I really appreciate you guys showing up, giving me some interaction. It's a lot better than talking to myself. I was getting worried for a second that I would just be talking to myself. Cool beans. Cool. I remember you would leave comments way back, like right when I started the channel, I think. So I do really appreciate you being around for this long. Timmer also helps draw the crowd. Yes. Yes, he does. File my notes. What do you guys want to talk about next time? If I go set this up for you the next Tuesday or next Thursday, anything specific related? I could probably do a Blazer segment. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Some Blazer stuff. Probably give you an upgrade or update on the garage and all the tools. Box truck news report. You got an old 89. The brake noses are cool. That's what my buddy Kevin has, and I really like the way his truck looks. Truck report. All right, I'll add that to the list. Ten high trail reports. I think maybe that'll be the beverage of choice. Take a look into Edison Motors. They've got a cool conversion coming up at some point for OBS 1 tons to electric. I think that would be cool. My dad and I actually spoke at one point about getting like a small little diesel probably and putting a hydraulic driver behind it, like a hydraulic pump, that are probably behind the transmission too, with a manual transmission. And actually putting hydraulic drives on 1 ton axles, similar to like how a forklift operates, because the forklift doesn't have a drive shaft in it. It's just got hydraulic drive units on the axles. And I thought that'd be really cool for off-roading because you don't have to worry about your drive lines getting beat up. Then you can go through your gears, and depending on your need for hydraulic, pressure, you go through your transmission, set it where it needs to be, put a little high idle on the motor, and it should make like for a really cool truck. Do all hydro assist, brakes, hydro steering, and should be super simple. You could probably eliminate a lot of the stuff that you need. So I can see electric motors like that being pretty cool too. I think the future of electric is going to be having a little onboard motor to act as a generator. I think the new Scout's like that. The Scout is coming back for like 2026 or 2027. So people are starting to notice that. And I don't think Toyota ever really made an electric car. I think they're all hybrids. So I really do think hybrid's the way of the future. There might even be some research into semi-trucks being like that, where they're have an onboard generator. So then when they go into cities, they can just run off electric battery banks, and then they can refuel or refuel back on the road. Cool. Well, thanks again, guys, for showing up. Appreciate all of that. And any more questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about? I should have made a longer list, or maybe not ran through the entire list while people weren't here. Yeah, they run diesel generators in the engine bay. Canadian company built around hauling logs from deep in the woods. That makes sense, I guess. I think the right now we don't have the technology and batteries to be able to store that much energy. Like pound for pound, I think fuel stores the most energy. So yeah, that makes sense why they would do that. You good, man? Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I don't know if I have the expertise for that one, Nick. Mr. Nachos, sorry. I'm just going through my list here one more time, see if I got anything good going on. Anyone else see that Ballistic Fab went out of business? Pick up anything at the sale? At one point, they were 50% off right before they closed their doors. No, I think I've about covered it all. Cool. Well, thanks again, guys. I think I'm going to sign off. And I hope you guys have a good night. And I'll see you again for another Bock Talks Truck Tuesday or Thursday. Not Monday. It doesn't rhyme. Cool. Thanks again, guys. Now I just need to learn how to work this. Oh, X. We're going for the X. All right, signing off. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.